True. 10 high, the bourbon for you. So let me find our broadcast, and away we go. Zip, zip, zip. Ah, here we are. Marvelous. And we have... Excellent. That. Alright. Checking out this one too. Yowza. Now, my background looks slightly dark, although that may change as auto exposure kicks in. So, if you're watching this, refresh that again. Things may change as they go. Just one moment, please. So sorry. You gotta do this stuff. You know, it's the old, maintenance kind of stuff. I don't want me to bore you with such concepts. But as long as we are everywhere we need to be, I can speak to you and I can respond to comments, which is awesome. Apparently, if you're watching on a smart TV, which some people like because it's larger, some people have vision issues. I have vision issues. I take these off. What the hell? So they're able to see things a little better on there. You can't comment on your TV. There's no interface. So if you're like, well, I really like the TV, just bring your laptop along or your phone, you know, and you can do all the comments on that device, watch on the big screen. Whee, it's the way to go. I know. Hello, Elizabeth. You're first up on YouTube. So glad to see you here. I'm going to get rid of this pointless YouTube page and stick with the pointful YouTube page and say hello again to Elizabeth. Awesome. Where are you calling in from? Just asking. We are right here in the great state of New York. Whoopee. And we actually have a very nice product to try tonight, which we'll be hipping you to a little later. If you were watching the feed a little earlier, you saw something about it's going to be some bourbon. And of course, the title of this thing is Bourbon Specials All Night. You think we got some bourbon? We got some bourbon. Oh, I think I'm watching the wrong one over here. Oh yeah, this is like last week's episode. Good grief. The things I have to go through here. Okay, just a minute. Gotta refresh this thing here. No wonder I couldn't see what's happening on the main page. Yeah? If you were here interacting, you'd say, Paul, you're on the wrong one. Oh, geez, sorry guys. Hey, funny stuff. That's just a thing. We can cut up a little bit with you because it's Thursday. You're past the hump. Although these days for many people, every day is Friday. And you're like getting ready for it, you know. Everybody's working for the weekend. And you'll be there in no time at all. So let me find myself. This is the shirt. Here we go. Actually, it's about as dark as it was last week. But it's not that. The color's quite nice, though. Here we go. Okay, folks. Backwards and in reverse order. Hi, Abra. Awesome. Hello, Linda. Hello, Amy. It's a kind of awesome business. Ron, so good to see you. Julie. Steve. Hold on. Hey, wait a minute. I'm just catching Steve here. Hey, don't forget about Steve. Alright, Mars, doing great here, really. It's actually quite a nice day. Hot and sticky, not that comfortable. And here's like horrid, but it's July. What do I expect in New York State, particularly somewhere in near the Catskills? I'm not going to complain about the heat. If it gets really beastly, I'm just going to get inside with a very large ice cube and go, oh. And, you know, on the other hand, like, historically before air conditioning, what did people do? A tall drink with some ice in it. We might be able to make a few of those, right? That's part of the idea. Whenever they talk about like the cooler, it's because it was 95 degrees in the shade in Atlanta, and you wanted something really big, maybe full of mint, maybe not. What the hell? Some people don't like mint juleps. I, for one, I think they're okay. But if you love it, hey, you know, it's a fine drink. Venerable. Let's see. Lisa and Earl, awesome. So glad you could join us. Awesome. Oh, and Daniel and the miss are drinking the old-fashioned cocktails. That's a bourbon spectacular right there. I think, historically, that probably would have been a rye cocktail because that's what was being served. But literally, 10 years after the publication of that first bar book, bourbon really starts hitting it. And I think by the turn of the century, it's really coming in. And that became maybe like the thing of choice. Rye went through a really long fallow period. You might have been able to find one or two on the shelf. It was pretty rare. And now it's just completely making a comeback. And it's hard to find. And a lot of those bottles are really expensive. They're really nice, but they're very dear right now. So what the heck. But bourbon, hey, you never go wrong with bourbon. Bingo. Fred, Awesome. Awesome. Let me back it up a step. Let's see here. Again. And Laura, thank you. The light-changing colors are actually a strip of LEDs. I don't want to block my light there too much. That's going up and around the unit. I've got to cut a little low so you can't see the top of the unit tonight. And they are something that was a promo. I forget the manufacturer, so I can't plug the mirror, but we actually got those in response to putting up a review on Amazon or something. They're pretty cool. And if you really like them, I'll scare off the manufacturer and drop it on you so that you can, enjoy these. I think there are probably a number of manufacturers that are all copying each other, but they come with a little controller, and I don't have that with me right now, but I can get it. And you can change the color to solid, static, chasing. It's a lot of fun. But generally speaking, we have like this pattern going behind us. I think it's called Warm or something. And love it. It just completely adds to the whole thing. And it's like it's Christmas all year round, Lighted ball. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, sorry about that. This guy. I think that's IKEA. IKEA lamp, standing. It's just on like some 4 short feet. This comes as a kit with like these plastic leaves. And you fit it together. It's kind of fun that you can build the lamp yourself onto the feet. And inside of that is a Phillips whiz bulb. We have some of the Hue bulbs. And these are the Whiz is kind of the latest line. I think I've got one over there somewhere. Just a moment. Yep. Yoink. And this Philips Smart Wi-Fi LED lighting with Whiz. Whiz is the app. And the bulb actually is color changing. Big fun. It's a 60 watt equivalent. Plenty of light out there. And it just goes on. You can choose like, 100 different patterns on that. You got one out there too, which is currently doing approximately the same pattern, which is kind of fun. So that's big fun. Yeah. Brain needs more booze. Damn Skippy. Last time I did this solo, I yacked until the lady came, which is okay. I want to keep you entertained. You're not supposed to be bored while I'm flying solo or anything like that. But I didn't have a drink in me. Well, I think it's time for me to do such things. Let me take a look at what I was planning to make here because I want to find out what they're saying for a cocktail glass. Okay, sure. I haven't made this in a while, so I think it's time. Pardon me, elevator down. Yeah. There we go. Sazerac Cocktail. Well, that's a fun one. This is a real presentation drink, and I happen to like presenting it. So this starts out with a little bit of Pernod. I did bring by the old bottle of Pernod. We've had this for years because we don't use too much. Basically, but what do you do when you want to get dashes of Pernod? You get one of these tiny little Tabasco bottles, use it, clean it out really well, and you've got a perfect dasher. We need a couple of dashes. Maybe one more. Okay, 3 dash. So, old-fashioned glass, single size old-fashioned. Pardon me. Swirl it around the glass. This is something you can see a bartender do, particularly if he had like garters on his sleeve and like a long mustache contemporarily, and you'd be like, whoa, that's interesting, it's amazing. Yeah, it's kind of fun. And I think that the instructions in some cases tell you to pour out the excess Pernod. Sounds like a good waste of Pernod to me. But, so there we go. Coated the inside as best we can. Now, there was a discussion. Interestingly enough, private Velveteen Lounge room, which if you are not up on Facebook on that group and you're interested, you can find that very easily and you can apply. You have to answer a few questions to get in. I mean, we get our fair share of spammers, so you kind of got to filter them out, but none of you are doing any of that. We can figure out who you are. And there was a whole discussion about sugar cubes. Can you find them still? There's a good thing in the Straight Dope online. That's a question and answer column from the Chicago Daily Reader, currently defunct, but it might be on hiatus, about what was the deal with sugar cubes versus packets and all that. And cubes precede packets, and it was a way to give you like a measure of sugar that wouldn't be too messy. That wouldn't be like spoonful of sugar and some goes flying. And once packets became possible, they're basically obsolete, but people like them. I like them. They're fun. Sugar cubes. Happen to have some sugar cubes right here. I've had these for a long time. They last forever. Take your cube, drop it in your glass. And I can store the sugar cubes. Next, grab some, I brought them over here, Peychaud's bitters. Ah, this is a real New Orleans kind of bitters. Red. Also, a little bit of anise flavor. Soak that sugar cube. Next, muddle. Didn't bring my muddler, so I'm going to grab a spoon. I'm just going to try to break this down a little bit. The whole idea behind that is just to start dissolving that sugar in some of this fluid. Some formulas say add a little water. I get a fair amount of bitters and all that Ferno in there. I didn't dump it out. So there we have it. Now, what does old Mr. B say about how to do the rest of this? This is actually a very reputable way to make a Sazerac. I've seen other formulas where people start throwing fruit in it and whatnot, and suddenly it's just an old-fashioned with all that stuff. I think it's not a great way to make an old-fashioned. That's a very simple drink, and it's not a great way to make a Sazerac. Okay, so it's 2 cubes of ice. I'm actually going to go for the fun effect, continuing that, with 1 cube. The big cube. The big cube? Haha, that's a different thing to do with sugar cubes. Put that aside. Next, 2 ounces of bourbon. I'm actually going to crack the new bourbon. I would normally wait for the lady because it's very polite. However, we're doing bourbon drinks, and we got to get on with it. And when she comes out, we'll taste it. I won't taste this right now. I'll wait for the taste test. Here we go. Okay. Always bring a tool behind the bar so you can open these silly little things. Or maybe I can just twist and it works just fine. Super. Got it. 2 ounces. If you have a measure that is 1 ounce and 1.5 ounces, you're in great shape. Pony in a shot. Use it all the time. 2 ounces of your bourbon. This happens to be everyday bourbon whiskey from Cooperstown Distillery, New York State product. Apparently it was a very nice price, particularly considering a home micro distillery. Oh, that's just super. Ah, very good. Did bring this along. Give that a bit of a swirl. This process isn't terribly messy. That's why we have cleaning implements around the whole lounge here. Oh, Marge, dollar store for sugar cubes. You can get the cubes at the dollar store. I would suspect packets and large things of sugar. I would not suspect any of that raw sugar stuff. I could be corrected. But that was part of the discussion online too, was that dollar store has its own brands of spices and things, and or Dollar General, which is not a dollar store actually. It's a discount store. But it's cheap. Cheap, and like cheap spices, there are lots of good sources for cheap spices, and when you consider the price you might pay for certain brands of spices, whoa, you know, that's really refreshing. I think the last thing I like to do with this, and let me see if they agree. Yeah, here we go. Grab a slice of lemon peel. Okay. Going to give that twist a twist. Yeah. Express a little, lay that right on top. Sinks in a little bit. Get a little bit of lemon on the nose. Oh, that's very civilized. Basically, that's just a complicated old-fashioned. It's the drink with some sugar, adding some bitters. You do that, you get an old-fashioned. You add a very particular kind of bitters, you get a New Orleans drink. Sazerac, you can use Sazerac Rye, excellent brand, made in New Orleans, etc. And it doesn't. I don't think it has anything to do with Sazerac bitters. I could be wrong though. And it kind of sounds like you really need to use the Sazerac Rye in your Sazerac, but traditionally it would probably be made with what whiskey you had, and it works really well with bourbon, and it's working really nicely with this bourbon, I tell you. This could withstand a dash of seltzer, but it is perfectly ready to go right here, right now. I like having that big cube in there. I have friends who actually like it straight up. Hey, fine, do your thing. If you like it straight up in a cocktail, recommendation, put your cocktail glasses in the freezer like we do. Freezing cold glass, that really helps the effect. Cheers, folks. Sazerac is a classic. I think you really do need the Sazerac bitters. And several years ago, it would have been like, okay, let's go on the wild goose chase to try to find a particular kind of bitters that no one can find in the United States outside of New Orleans. But maybe about 10 years ago or so, they started appearing everywhere. I think some supermarkets even have them. Right next to the Angostura, the only other brand that survived Prohibition. So you can actually find the Sazerac. This is the drink you would have it in. There are a couple others out there that use the Sazerac bitters. No, the Peychaud's. Peychaud's bitters. And this one is definitely recommended. You would need this in there. Because it's just like you get a little bit of color, you get that flavor, a little bit of anise flavor going on. Definitely accents the Pernod in there. And this is what we use Pernod for. Also, there's a whole bunch of those Don Beach drinks that call for like 6 drops of absinthe substitute. Use the Pernod. That's what it's for. Here we go. Just back in for a second. Oh yeah, definitely recommend hit IKEA and check that out. I hope this is still available because we got that a while ago. I don't want to send anybody on a goose chase, but you can check online to see if it's kicking around in the stores. And obviously enough, even if it's in the catalog, every place has had supply problems over the past year. Wow. I will tell you, there's some stuff I used to buy at the supermarket and use as aftershave. It's sort of like an aromatized isopropyl. Cannot get that for hell or high water. It's made in Puerto Rico. I think there are a lot of problems getting the product there locally. And I'm just going to wait. You know, that's a killer. Oh, a big vote for the Sazerac. Yeah, all right. Isn't this a great thing? I'm suspecting you keep a good bottle of Peychaud's on hand for that reason. I think I was calling them Sazerac bitters for a second. I think there used to be such a thing 150 years ago. Very much the way there used to be Abbott's and Bokers, both long gone off the market, but today there are people who are imitating both. I haven't tried any of the commercial Abbott's. Instead, I found a formula we made our own, and those are over 10 years old now, sitting in the bottle, and I'm down to one last bottle, and they're amazing. They're really good. So I need to do that again, and I need to really nail down a good formula for Bokers and try that out. There is an excellent one made by Adam Elmagarab that you can find online and various places. I think it's in our store. If you go to our store up on Amazon, you'll find those bitters labeled. Those are very good. Very nice dash of those in like margarita or say sidecar, which is really the same kind of drink. Nice sour. Hello, Satellite. So good to see you. Hello, Janice. Yeah, I may have misspoken. I'm not sure there are Sazerac bitters. So, shoot me! There is Sazerac Rye. And of course there is the Sazerac. About, I don't know, look it up. Maybe I saw that somewhere. Maybe I'm just running off at the mouth. At the spoon mumbling. Big fun, big fun. So nice. I'm just going to check out a couple of the things that's happening here. Oh, here we go. Boom, boom, boom. Vegas, it's only 111. Good Lord. Yes, but here's the old cliche that I have to upon you. But it's a dry heat. It's 111 out. There's no such thing as dry heat. There's heat prostration. You're riding your mule, and the mule collapses, and you're crawling around on the sand. Water, water. Good grief, that's crazy. Of course, it's Vegas, so you can stop in a watering hole. Hey, Bill. It was hot and sweaty here today. Probably not the kind of heat you're getting, but I bet you're getting a lot of dry. So, you know, it's a bit different, but if you have like 30 more degrees, what the hell's the diff, you know? Hot is hot. It was not unpleasant. It was okay, but it's the point where I wake up in the morning, pop the window to get some fresh air and say, no. Now it's cooler inside. Keep it that way, you know? When you're running the ACs all night, it dries out there a little, kind of nice, you know? Hate to be using all that electricity, but at the same time, I don't hate to use all that electricity. Hot makers make Sazerac. There we go. Is it like psychic connection or what? Hilarious. And old-fashioned. Dano and Elaine on the old-fashioned. Boy, we got a bourbon thing going on. I think you picked up on the idea here. Sugar cubes are easy to make. Do you have a site that you gives instructions and things? I can imagine how you would do it. I think you need equipment. Flavored cubes. Oh, wow. With absinthe. Asia, its makers. Oh, Templeton Rye. Cooperstown. Oh, well, boom. Boom, there we go. We're going to try this straight up. I obviously have adulterated it a bit for this little drinky. So I can't tell you about the fine bouquet of Cooperstown straight, but I will in short order. Here we go. And, oh, that bitters book. We have that too. Very good. Good review. Lots of good formulas for different things to try out. You certainly are going to want to have gentian brewed around because that is your basis of everything. The bitter and bitters, the dominant, like, ooh, astringent flavor, usually gentian. If you live in Chicagoland or somewhere in the environs and you happen to kick around certain local watering holes, they may pull down a bottle from the shelf. And that bottle is a sort of a dare. It's a type of domestic Amaro, really. I think it's actually originally a knockoff on like a Swedish formula or something. Called Malort. And that has a lot of gentian in it. And if you are to take a shot of that and you're not that aware, you're going to go, wow, astringent. Of course, by the time we tried Malort in person at Porco in Cleveland, from the Wall of Pain, I tell this story a lot because it's a hilarious story, where a proprietor there gave us a shot. He's like, you want to try it? Sure, we try it. It is not the most bitter thing we've ever had. So I'm like, well, that's kind of okay. It's kind of pleasant. We've gotten used to a lot of bitter things as I get a little older, and I like them. I like bitter things, a little more than very sweet things. And I certainly, if I have sweet things in a drink, I like to balance it out with the bitters. And we're full circle. But there you go with the Malort. So be prepared, but if you're used to like the taste and like that essence of your Angostura, your generalized old-fashioned bitters, there's a lot of brands of bitters out there now. And for the past even 10 years, it's gone from maybe 20 to, oh, good God, I don't know, thousands by now. Crazy. Most of them are making an old-fashioned style bitters. That's the same kind of flavor profile you get out of Angostura. Angostura is still the king of that because they've been doing it for 179 years, something like that. And their flavor is unique and great. Really, really great. Would never want to be without those. But a lot of people are making old fashions. A lot of fun. So just checking out on our other page here to see what's kicking around. Hey, Ben! Ben can do enough complaining about the heat for you. I gotta tell you, the heat, nobody likes excessive heat. There are times, I've worked my entire adult life, no, close. Most of my adult life, I've actually worked in Manhattan. People will talk about New York, well, oh yeah, it's hot, but you don't really know about hot because you haven't been to Georgia. I said, well, I've been to Georgia. I've been to Atlanta. It was hot. It was, I think, July or August. It was hot. I've been to New Orleans. It was really brutal. It was really brutal. But I'm out there in the heat saying, honestly, this doesn't feel much worse than walking around Lower Manhattan in August when it feels like every single air conditioning unit in the city is pointing its rear end at you. Bang! Heat. Just like big waves of heat coming at you. That kind of thing. We were talking about desert heat before, 111 degrees in Vegas. Good grief. It's like the city is about to just melt into a cube of the stuff that they make the tokens out of, That's just craziness. Absolute insanity. And I get it. It will make you a little delirious. It will definitely do that in New York City, which is in a sort of little tropical depression. It's this little microclimate. You think, it's a sort of a mid-Atlantic state. It couldn't be worse than this or that. Yeah, well, come to think of it, Baltimore is getting a ton of humidity. It could probably be exactly like that. I mean, you're really verging on southern style heat when you really need something like this to say, I can help myself cool down. You can't really see it, but that large cube is about 3/4 the size in there by now. And that's kind of great for that large cube. It's diluting very slowly, but it's keeping it very cold. Oh, that's really civilized. I hadn't had anything before that tonight, so kind of nice to have a little something going on. Ping! So what's going on in your world, folks? Besides heat, I think that's the case with most of the country. Saw an infographic earlier that some massive wave is about to hit the West and Canada. So what, Toronto is going to get 125 degrees? What is it like? You know, in Montreal we'll get hot, absolutely, in the summer. And like, so it's going to be like 110 in the summer and 110 below in the winter. That's big fun going on. I don't know if any of our Canadian correspondents are watching tonight, but I bet you're familiar. Oh yeah, all of the surfaces. Concrete, steel, and blacktop. Every surface is asphalt. So it's just reflecting, all that black is just reflecting heat back at you. And you're right, all the steel, it's like every building, these huge glass towers are just like blasting light on you. You can't escape it. It's pretty insane. I have worked down in the financial district for 20 years. Well, the last year I was kind of here. But in that time, you had to find places to escape. And honestly, it was great to work in New Amsterdam because you could get to the water very easily, and it really was a relief. Well, look who's decided to join us. Hello!
Hi!
Hi!
I'm so excited about our new rug. Did he tell you we got a new rug today?
I didn't even get around to it, but I'm looking at it right now. It is
so plush.
It is plush.
We'll have to make a video soon.
It's going to be nice on the feet.
Hi, everyone.
You know, we spent a fair amount of time standing back here, and it's really nice when we can actually get to a plush rug. You know, just gonna relax.
It's exciting.
Good stuff.
How's everyone? I know I missed all the introductions, but
hey! You knew she'd be here soon enough.
No.
Big stuff coming.
I'm happy to see everyone. Cheery. Oh my gosh. Oh, Cooksville. Hi.
Hello.
We just made a video for Camp Cooksville. I'll have to share it. Yeah.
Absolutely.
We'll have one next week too. So follow Cooksville Co-op if you're on Instagram.
Check them out. They're doing a fun camp thing. Yeah. You're going to want to check that. It's fun. We had fun making a few videos. We have one more to make, as a matter of fact. And they provided us with a few staples, camp staples, which was hilarious. I love it.
I know, it was so much fun. Yeah,
great.
Well, and there are more videos coming, but I'll share it. I will.
Was that the second video we dropped, or
no? That was the first.
That was the first.
That was the first.
Okay. Yeah,
but Camp Cooksville is going on now. So
pre-made a few videos, so they're in the jar there waiting to come out.
Have you been
Big fun.
looking on YouTube too?
Oh, everywhere. Yep.
Okay, good.
Vegas had the 42 heat record, 117.
Nice.
Oh! Man, sporadic thunderstorms. What? The desert gets some relief from time to time? Awesome. Oh, wow.
Are you getting highs? Thank you. I'm getting highs.
I'm getting high.
Not getting high yet. Let's try to change that.
Potentially, I'm getting a little high, but this is only one drink. You know?
Now, what did you have?
This was a Sazerac Cocktail.
Ooh, good
there
one.
You go. It is not yet ridiculously diluted because I used the huge cube. That's what the big cube is for. The big cube,
Yummy.
Sugar cubes.
Did you try the new bourbon?
It's in this.
Oh, so you already tried it.
I didn't sample.
Oh.
I decided to wait for the lady,
and you
so we could try it together.
You shared it, I assume.
Shared with the folks what this was? Yes, I did.
Yep.
Absolutely.
I saw this in the store today, and all of the local craft bourbons were like between $45 and $60.
They tend to be.
And this one's Cooperstown, New York, and it was $25. So
you thought, well, that's a pretty nice price for a $7.50.
I'm not stupid.
Yep, I'll check that out. It is 90 proof.
We'll see if I'm still saying that in a minute.
Very typical for these micro distilleries.
Go.
Yep, micro distilled product is what I should say.
Yeah.
Okay, that's got a nice nose.
I'm ready to try a little bourbon.
I'm ready to try a little bourbon.
Oh, good. I want to do a Fernwood brunch.
I think that all I can do is sit there and say, Jerry! It's an unbelievable show. And the fact that it's a spin-off of Mary Hartman, another Norman Lear product, and they just had this idea for this sort of a talk show thing that they could do daily. They did it every night for months.
Cooksville says, campfire picnic buns made our day. Actually, our week. Oh, that's what we made in our video. And I will, you know what? I'll go make it public right now. As soon as I remember how to use YouTube. Okay, here we go.
Here, hold your drink.
I haven't even had anything yet.
Yeah, I know. Look at this. I'm
All
still
right,
holding
hold
the drink.
on.
Haven't had any of the shot myself.
I was gonna make it public tomorrow, but I'm gonna make it public right now.
What's hot? Just
I still have to upload it to Instagram. That might happen tomorrow, but
it'll get there. We are friendly with many platforms. Obviously enough, we're on 2 of them simultaneously and 2 pages on Facebook. So wrangling, folks.
Here we go.
Of course, I have to jump back and forth between comments. I'm not trying to miss anybody. I'm trying to hit everybody as it goes. I mean, with a comment, that is.
Okay. Now it's public.
There we go. Boom.
So this is going to be the video we would normally drop tomorrow. I just dropped it just now on YouTube, but I'll put it on Instagram too.
Okay. Campfire picnic buns involve bologna. Don't say I didn't warn you. You know what? It's a pretty good deployment of bologna.
I bought turkey bologna because I was completely repulsed by the idea of bologna.
Slightly horrified by what's in the bologna. I'm not going to tell you.
The bologna.
Well, there we go.
Cheers.
Clinky drinky.
Hey, okay, let's get back to
a little prosit to us.
That's okay. That was easy. Uploading it to Instagram will take a minute, but.
Oh yeah. Okay. So this is.
Fred, hello.
Definitely recognizable high proof.
I haven't even tried it yet.
Well, it's not high proof. It's only 90, but that's a good 10 over what you're normally getting. So it's got that zing to it. It could withstand a little water to get it down a little bit.
I was gonna say, do we have?
But we have a little bit of water there. If you want to grab a spoon or something.
Yeah, I was gonna say, pouring it out of here will be embarrassing.
Would be ridiculous. You got a spoon right there.
Spoon.
If you want to give yourself just a few drops, just a little bit.
Do you want any?
I'll take a little bit. Sure.
Here, bring it over.
Yeah.
You want more than that, or is that good?
Let's try that out. Found out that little trick at Prohibition where they'll pour you some of their 90 proof, and they have some 100 proof, 110 proof.
And they add water.
And they say, look, everything over about 80 is just fire.
Yeah.
But things are distilled at that proof, probably for historical reasons. The bourbon always used to be 100 proof.
That's good.
Straight up 100 proof is a little whoa. But you add just a tiny bit of water, literally drop by drop, and you can see it sort of swirl around. The alcohol swirls.
I'm enjoying this $25 bourbon. Everyday bourbon.
Boom.
From
that really
Cooperstown Distillery.
It's got a really fresh taste, like a lot of these small distilleries. It's a recommendable product. Big fun.
Wow.
So we certainly still enjoy the product from Prohibition, and they have a couple of good whiskeys.
Oh yeah.
And of course the product from Warwick, which is slightly closer to us. Pretty arcane to get there from us. I know that Dana, watching, ordered a case of their cherry liquor recently, and I picked it up for him. I'm like, it really wasn't hard to get to, but you're thinking, boy, do I need that mapping function, because I never find this joint.
You basically go through the country. When I say the country, like you're driving through the onion fields.
You're driving through the onion fields.
Yeah, it's...
Our local area for farming is known as the Black Dirt region, because there was like some huge depression there from the last glacier that went through 10,000 years ago.
Applejack.
Well, we're looking at Black Dirt Applejack right back here. That's what they're talking about. What did that do? That like just grunged up everything and left a huge pile of very rich soil. So they grow fantastic produce locally. You know?
Lord St. Pat has the entire series of Fernwood Tonight on DVDs.
Oh,
I would love that.
Oh.
We had them on VHS for a while. We were taping them off of TV Land, but we don't have any way to play VHS now.
We do.
We do?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Hello. So we can scare those up.
Who knew?
I didn't pitch those tapes because, TV Land was doing them. Really? Well, there was I remember at the time, if you went to sci-fi conventions in the 80s, you could buy a tape which had all of the episodes of the sci-fi show Quark. You may remember Quark? I think it ran for 7 or 8 episodes.
I remember Quark.
But somebody taped it on beta at the time, and that was the source of all of the VHS that was out there.
Don't we still have a beta machine?
We do have a beta machine. Yeah, it does not work. I think I can.
Of course it does.
I think I can get it working. Not me, but I know somebody who can get it working. So I think I got to gift it on him and see what we can do. Because we still have a couple of beta tapes of some fun stuff that are unique.
I think we watched one time, didn't we?
We did watch beta.
Devo.
When we first actually got together, I had a machine that I had picked up when I did an install. Somebody got a VHS machine, and they had bought a beta machine around 1980. The thing was massive. It's the weight of this bar that I was standing behind. It was a Sony. It was a really nice machine, and I taped a bunch of stuff on the thing.
Thank you.
So,
you're talking about the weight. We got a Murphy bed delivered last week. So you can actually, if you want to stay over now, you can.
You can sleep here.
Before, you were either going to have to be on a tragic air mattress or the sofa that you couldn't completely spread out on. But now we have a bed.
I guess you could have brought a tent. I mean, the backyard is fenced.
The delivery, they dumped it in 3 boxes on the front steps and just left.
Bye.
And those boxes were so heavy, I couldn't even lift half of it.
They weighed a ton. I got them into the house.
It was so funny.
By propping one end on the step and tilting it up.
Yeah.
End over end.
Hi, Laura.
And then I had to actually heft them into the house to get them out of the way. Now that was a real deadlift, and my lower back was really giving me a little twinge, and I thought, wow, it's about to go out, but made it work.
But you got those boxes in. I couldn't even lift half of one of them.
It really takes some upper body strength, and I got to say, I would not have been able to move that very far. Yes, well, working out is many areas of the body. I think your abdominals are better than mine. So definitely.
I lift weights.
Yeah, oh,
not
you know?
that clearly not that heavy, but
maybe not. But I know. I know it is. Neat. Oh, hello.
Oh, okay. We have Hulu. Thank you, Lisa. I will check that out.
Recommended from at this point a good 20 years or plus. I think back in the 90s there was a documentary called America Drinks.
Oh yeah.
And it's a companion to American Eats. We love American Eats. It's a great documentary about fast food and just things in general. But there's a companion about American Drinks. And that's a lot of fun. And it deals with bourbon and it deals with soft drinks, everything. All of these things.
Coffee.
I mean, all of these types of things that America does. That was, who produced that? History Channel, probably.
You know, one of them was like an American Experience type thing, I think.
Oh, yeah.
We have American Eats came out on DVD. I don't know if the American Drinks did. It was one of those that was on VHS that we taped and watched so many times the tape was like practically falling apart.
You start to get scan lines because you're wearing the tape out. The tape is very thin.
Josh is asking what we're drinking.
Oh.
I am going to make something.
Currently she's drinking nothing.
That I thought up
a nip.
right before we went live. I have 2 versions. Right now it's called Bourbon Thingy. I'll give it a better name tomorrow.
I kind of gotta love that idea.
I've got Bourbon Thingy and Bourbon Thingy
Bourbon
too.
Thingy
I'm
too.
sort of feeling Bourbon Thingy too. To start.
2 is the way to go,
believe
folks.
It or not. So that was
this, not this.
2 ounces of bourbon. And then I'm going to do a ½ ounce of the acai liqueur.
Oh, and by the way, I didn't actually tell you I'm drinking a Sazerac. Although I think I have drinking a Sazerac because
killed that Sazerac.
You drank the Sazerac.
½ ounce of the acai
liqueur, the Cedilla. It's a really nice flavor. It's very round, sort of a blueberry type flavor, and that is the flavor of the acai. Acai juice got to be like a big deal on the health food circuit, and you can find it in many
10
places.
Years ago or something.
Yeah, it's like a
little
sort of a plum-sized berry that grows in Brazil. And if you're on the beach in Rio or Sao Paulo, you'll find a little stand, and the guy will have like just a whole bin worth of like frozen fruit, and you just mix it up. Boom, there you go.
Which one's the lemon?
Lemon is in the taller container.
Oh.
Yep, big blue.
A ½ ounce of lemon juice.
So smoothies on the beach in Rio. Gee, that sounds like a pretty good idea.
I could go for that.
I can go for that. But acai became a really big flavor. I remember making a drink over 10 years ago featuring acai that was horror themed and a lot of fun, and probably Halloween. I think I need to get some dry ice and revive that because it's a killer. I really do enjoy that thing.
5 dashes of chocolate bitters. These are Bitter Truth. Feed Brothers makes one too. Mm-hmm. And then shake with ice.
Both good.
And strain into a cocktail glass.
That was very civilized. Was.
Was.
Bye.
It was so civilized until I guzzled it down.
I took the last drop anyway. Bourbon thingy.
Bourbon thingy. All right, maybe I'll keep it bourbon thingy.
And the Murphy bed is actually not the traditional sort of like bed upright that folds down. This is actually a cabinet. and it kind of folds out a few ways.
It looks like a chest of drawers.
Looks like a chest of drawers. That's it. It's a much like shorter profile but thicker profile. And I had a pretty good time putting it together, and I gave it a sample. I'm like, this thing is sturdy.
Do we have any chilled glasses?
What kind of glass are you looking for?
Cocktail.
Of course we have chilled glasses.
Yay.
I can reach behind me like this.
The bottom drawer is actually a real drawer. The rest of them are, thank you, false drawers, because they're just hiding the bed. But it's big, and I think I'm going to just name it. This is Bourbon Thingy, too. I'll have to make Bourbon Thingy.
Thingy!
Oh, thingy.
And frequently around here I'm saying, oh, thingy! You know?
Okay, just making sure we're caught. Oh, we are caught up.
Big.
All right.
Glad to be connecting to everybody. We are obviously broadcasting an hour later than usual on a Thursday.
Josh, we like Bitter Truth.
And of course, we're still off of our normal day. But people are joining us. I'm glad to see you all. I mean, I know that it may not actually coincide with your schedule, so I'm glad you can make it. Yep. Good stuff.
Here.
Oh, yeah. The Bitter Truths, they're very, very attentive to these types of details. Excellent orange bitters.
We're going back to Wednesday in August.
Well, that's a nice sour.
It's good. I like it.
Good notes. I kind of like it.
I like it.
Woo.
Yeah, August. We'll go back to Wednesday.
Yep.
I got 2 more classes on Thursday. Well, actually, I'm taking so many classes right now.
Oh, boy.
But anyway, but it's good. It's good.
Well, I'm out. Although I'm taking a little bit of water for a break. No, look. Yeah, when you know where things are, you can just go blind. Boom, boom, boom. Pew, you know? There are people in this country who are not sighted.
Mars.
They find things because they know where things are. And that's how to do it. That's exactly it.
Thank you. All right.
Okay. I'd like to try that again. Don't mind if I do.
I'll share Bourbon Thingy, too, with you.
Isn't that like a Dr. Seuss thing? Thing 1, thing 2? Yeah.
Is it?
Dr. Seuss, thingy 1, thingy 2. Love that idea. Seuss would have like a whole a very long poem about making the cocktail. That would be hilarious.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
But good stuff. Still enjoying this shirt, which came from, I can say this, not sponsored. We bought Sweet Lorraine, Cleveland. Utterly fantastic store. Boy, is that crammed. For clothing, the women's section just goes on and on.
I was trying to explain it to people recently. Like, if you haven't been vintage shopping in Cleveland, I'm sure there are places like this, other places too, but Sweet Lorraine and Flower Child was just like, it was like going to a department store of vintage.
Of vintage.
It was nuts.
We actually, we scored more this time at Sweet than we did at Flower Child. But Flower Child was just stuffed with amazing stuff. It's just, and you go downstairs and you just go run from room to room to room into the basement. It's just huge. There's so many things.
I tried on a lot of things at Flower Child, but it's, vintage. There's only one, so if it's not your size, you can't just go grab another.
Really a great selection of barware there. Really huge. I mean, upstairs they had like just all these great glasses and ice buckets and stuff. We have a lot of that. So that probably didn't interest me as much, but it was really cool stuff.
Oh yeah.
And like a lot of great beer signs downstairs in that place. So like if we did better at one place than the other, it's just like that doesn't mean that you wouldn't go there and go, whoa, I'm buying all this stuff.
And apparently, I don't know if Laura's still watching, but apparently Akron has tons of great vintage shopping. We didn't get a chance to go because we were only there for a couple of days, and we had one day in Cleveland and then one day at Tiki Underground. But I would go back just to hit the stores in Akron.
I would check that out. We saw some good recommendations. We took a look online and saw, oh wow, we really need to hit this place. Timing was not right. And the great thing is that we did right because both stores we scored, and at Lorraine we were talking to the proprietor, and he said, what brings you here? And we said, we actually came here to come to your store.
Oh no! Well, first he there weren't that many people. It was a weekday, so there weren't that many people in the store. So he said, "Are you the car out there with the New York plates?" And we're like, "Well, yes, we are."
Yep.
And And then it kind of got us talking, but he was paying attention. He was coming in his store.
Yeah. Seriously.
It was a great experience. Highly recommend. Sweet Lorraine.
Sweet Lorraine.
And Flower Child, but Sweet Lorraine, he really, chatted with us and stuff, so.
We're actually going to go off the bourbon for a second because I was actually checking out product.
You're allowed.
Upstairs where it's really, really warm right now. We've had to put a few things out of the way because we lost some liquor storage, but we also discovered a lot of bottles that could probably be moved around. But I tell you, one thing that we haven't used in a while, which we got a few years ago, the Italicus. This is a bergamot liquor, which is Italian made.
Oh.
And I thought, it's summer. This is a perfect summer thing. This is the sort of thing you want to pour over some tonic. This is a really nice stuff. Or, like as they suggest, add some of this to Prosecco. Oh, yeah, big fun. So I came up with something.
Lisa says we love the old beer signs. Aubrey said canned ham vintage. Two of my favorite things in one title.
Hello.
Oh
Kelly
my
loves
gosh.
the Italicus. Okay, +1 for that.
Yeah, it's good. I like it. I have to look at what you're doing.
So let's go check it out. Bourbon and stuff.
Oh yeah, no, I think it'll be great with what you have in mind.
But definitely. Now, we're actually extremely low on gin, but we happen to have the excellent bootlegger vodka. You could use either. I would tend to lean towards the gin first because I think it would really complement this because we've done this before and it does.
Oh.
But the vodka is excellent, so going to go with it.
Have we had the Bogarts?
We have not.
I don't think we have.
Yes,
yeah.
we have not had that one. That is a specialty thing. It's at a bit of a higher price, but I'm very interested to try it out. That is another name for Bokers. So
Kelly's having a hard time finding it. I'm sorry to hear that.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's too bad. I mean, it's actually, it has a decent importer. This is Royal Dutch, Miami, Florida.
We have a joke.
I can't say that's going to help you too much, but
we have a joke between us that we'll see something there'll be a product that you can get everywhere
easily,
and then as soon as we want it, can't be had anywhere.
As they say in New York City, forget about it.
I know.
Not going to happen, sucker.
I mean, at least nowhere near us. I mean, we could probably order, but
it's really like you see something everywhere. It's so obvious that you can't avoid it, and then the minute you try to get it, forget about it.
Lisa, I love that. Lisa says we found a big variety of beer can openers with names like Jack's and a bunch of the old man beers at an antique shop. But one of every variety we could find. That's
now we're talking.
Fabulous.
Can somebody say Old Man Beer Challenge? Yes! They can.
He actually has swag. Oh, good. I'm glad that helped, Kelly.
Excellent.
He actually has swag for anyone planning to do the Old Man Beer Challenge at Ohana.
We do. If you are going to be attending Ohana, Blew Out the Lake 2021, we have been waiting 2 years for this moment, but if you are going to be flying in, driving in, walking in, I don't know, to check out the action on the ground, we will be there Saturday. I'll be grilling again, of course, and the Old Man Beer Challenge will happen. We have a fantastic new wrinkle this year. It's going to be, anybody watching? Ale!
Old Man Ale.
Old Man Ale. Wow, we have procured 4 Old Man Ales. It's going to be a lot of fun. So what am I mixing up here? Let's see.
They're just as skunky, some of them, as Old Man Lager.
You don't say. I'm just saying.
Lager.
Anyway. That Old Man Lager. So, an ounce of the Italicus. So put that right in there. Okay. This is a lot of fun. You can take this.
You already added the vodka?
I have not added the vodka. This you could really just take over some ice cubes as itself. It's a little sweet. Add a twist, it's better. Add a little bit of citrus. It's a pretty good idea. And I said lemon.
That sounds great, Kelly.
Oh yeah, we know the EG rhubarb.
Yeah, I know that.
Oh,
we need to remedy that.
Okay. Well, I'm glad I didn't think that the distributor would help you much, but if it does, hey, great. You know?
We have a different one from Edinburgh, but...
All right, 1.5 ounces of the vodka.
Uh-huh. And?
I like to demonstrate that from time to time we will work with anything. A lot of people poo-poo vodka. Well, a lot of vodka is not that great. Yeah, but Bootlegger is a really super clean product. And it definitely belongs in good drinks. And I would say I will defend the Cosmopolitan if you make it properly. If you make it like a candy drink, whatever. Get the proportions so it's a good sour.
Well,
and
but we make it.
shape.
But we make it not the actual cosmopolitan proportions.
I don't know. It really depends on who's saying so. The drink's been around a lot longer than you think. What do I have in there? Half ounce of lemon juice.
Yes.
Okay. There we go. That's about right.
Oh yeah, you did these lemon peels.
Yes, I did. I've already used one
I
of them.
didn't use one.
1.5 on the vodka, 1 ounce of the Italicus, half ounce of the lemon. So far, you're working on a pretty nice little sour there. Oh, thank you very much. I'll take one of those. Put that aside. Okay, so what we need to do here...
Oh, there's more.
I'm wrong. Shake for 3 and strain into cocktail glass. Let's make it happen.
All right. I think we've seen that, Kelly. Have we seen that one?
Agua. Oh.
We'll have to go.
We have to take a look. We've got a couple of really good stores.
We do.
Yeah.
So. And actually, we're going to be in the city on Tuesday.
We are.
Might be able to pay a visit to Astor. That's the kind of thing they might have.
I might have to go to my new office, but then again, I might not. It depends on who's there. Got to get some documents done. If people will not be there, neither will I.
Darn work.
If they will, then I'm glad to take care of a real problem.
Really interferes with life. Having to go to a job.
I tell you. Okay.
Wow, you need a straw.
I didn't do the sidecar thing with this, so I'm going to have to take a sip. Pretty big sip.
I think you need another sip.
Take a draft out of that because I wanted to add some bubbles on top of that. Okay. That's the whole thing.
It's really good as is, actually.
Now I said that I wanted to add the seltzer.
Oh, let's see.
Fill the seltzer. Okay. One more sip. A larger cocktail glass may be indicated. So, top with seltzer. If you happen to have Prosecco, try Prosecco.
Hi, Doug.
Well, hello. Only the rest of the story.
I was late again.
Yeah. You were not late per se. Lemon twist, twist it over there, express some oil, and there we have something that I was calling Prestissimo.
Oh, you named it?
Mm-hmm. Oh, that is very civilized.
All right, well, it was good before. That is very civilized. It was good before, so let's...
It's a really nice sour. I just added a little bit of bubbles.
And it smells good with that lemon peel.
It smells great.
That would be lovely on a summer afternoon. Just saying.
I tell you, if you're going to squeeze lemons, get yourself a vegetable peeler. Make some nice strips. Always take some nice strips of peel off of there.
That would be
Put it in your drink.
Lovely on a summer
That's
afternoon.
what that's all about. And if you're ever wondering what to do with something like lemon bitters, it's a substitute for that. If you can't get lemons, lemon bitters. That's the idea.
You can't get lemons. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
we can't get them fresh off the tree.
They're expensive here. They're expensive here for sure.
They've been that way.
Yeah.
We cannot get them fresh off the tree like some people. Yeah, I'm envious. But then again, last year I think we probably could have grown lemon trees inside the greenhouse because it was pretty hot in there.
We don't have the greenhouse anymore.
The greenhouse.
R.I.P. greenhouse.
It fell apart.
It's literally fell apart.
The plastic was no good after literally half a season.
Yes, Kelly, we will be at the luau at the lake.
We will indeed. So.
Oh, good. Okay. Awesome. We will definitely check it out.
Oh, that sounds really familiar.
Yeah, I wonder if we can get that locally. I think maybe we can. We will check that out.
We'll see if we have a very close store which is pretty large. They have a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But they don't have everything. But there's another store that's about half an hour away that is a real supermarket for liquor and wine.
And it's beautifully curated.
It's very well done.
If you're driving either across I-84 or up the New York State Thruway, I highly recommend dropping into Mid-Valley Wine and Liquor in Newburgh. And it's right there. It's at the juncture of two major highways and
pretty easy to get to.
Juncture,
yes.
Not juncture.
Juncture. I don't know.
Junction.
That's not so bad. Juncture.
Junction.
I'm trying to wonder if that's a word.
Juncture's a word, but it doesn't mean that.
Conjuncture, juncture, what's your puncture? Just asking.
Dawn, yeah, the son of Omar's, yeah, no, it was really sad. It was, was terrible.
The sun bubble.
Oh, Dawn was working as a PA today. Awesome. He was on the set.
Oh, hello. You pictures of Gansett. Now, there's a beer I remember from youth.
Nice.
But definitely. That was a beer you used to be able to get at Fenway Park.
The beer.
If you were seeing a Sox game.
Oh,
but definitely.
Yeah, lemon bitters are good.
Lemon bitters made by Fee Brothers. You probably can't find them everywhere, but if your local store
you can order.
Has anything from Fee's, they should be able to order the rest of the line. It's really crazy. One of our local stores, a really great, very well curated store just in Goshen, which is only about 10 minutes from the house. We found out recently she was going by there for another reason, and she stops in to pick up some falernum because Fee Brothers makes a very good falernum.
Well, then we called ahead to make sure they had it.
Yep. And she walks in and they're like, "Oh, yeah, we're actually discontinuing this because New York State says we can't carry it in a liquor store." This is crazy.
Yeah,
it's a cocktail
in
product.
New York, liquor stores can't carry anything that doesn't have alcohol. So these magical places in this country where you can buy liquor and mixers, you can't do that in New York. You have to buy your liquor in one store and your mixers in another store.
Tonic water. What do you do with that besides make
can't buy that in a liquor store.
Fill in the blank and tonic? You can't buy it in our liquor stores. Hello?
Doug's drinking a Jansen now. 75 shots.
Baby.
I love it.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
oh my gosh. So, the sun bubble, it fell apart.
The vinyl failed. It started turning opaque and then very chalky. It got brittle. And then you hit a few windstorms, shot. It just started shredding.
And for a minute there, our backyard, it looked like the Flying Dutchman. Like this sad, dead ship's tattered sails flapping about. It was
a lot of fun while it lasted.
It was bad.
And
so if you see the sun bubble and you're thinking about buying it, think twice.
Talk to them very carefully about if they've improved the vinyl, because that is the issue with this thing. It was pretty simple to put up. You could easily put it up and take it down in a year if you had good plastic. But I was pretty disappointed in the product at the end of the day. It was, during the year, it was really cool. It was a great little item.
I think Gansett was originally made in Rhode Island.
Pawtucket, Rhode Island.
But yeah, but then like later, Rhode Island. Oh, Lisa's saying we grew lemons, limes, and oranges in our house. Oh. You know, they for a while last summer, they were selling lime trees here, and we both kind of thought,
interesting.
But if you don't have a greenhouse, they're gonna die.
I would investigate.
They're not gonna winter over in New York.
I would investigate a more permanent greenhouse. Some of our neighbors actually have things made with that sort of corrugated, clear plastic. That's interesting.
Lisa's saying Oklahoma finally stepped up. Liquor stores can sell Coke, Pepsi, etc. in mixers. I don't know what's wrong with New York.
Well, Oklahoma, of course, was dry until 1959.
Cooksville says if you can't find any, let us know. We'll send you some. Thank you.
Hello.
Yay.
Pew.
I love it.
I love being able to talk to this crowd.
I love it.
Because people know things.
Yeah.
That's why we're here on a Thursday night. Big fun.
That's right.
So, look, I would do a greenhouse again, but I think it would have to be slightly more permanent. And I would enjoy it. I like...
Although we have to learn how to do it better, because I think some of the plants suffered because it was so hot in there, ironically.
Yeah, surprisingly, the peppers. You think
the peppers hated being that hot.
You think they're sort of a desert climate thing? No. They didn't like it. We took them out of there and they thrived. Currently, we have new peppers happening out there.
They're growing great.
On the deck.
They're just, they're not in a tent and they're fine. Yep. So, I don't know.
What can I tell you? Things change, big fun. Sun bubble.
Sun bubble hot tub. I think it was kind of like a hot tub. We kept calling it a sauna. It's like a sauna for plants.
When you stepped in there in July and August, It was sub-Saharan Africa.
It was really, really,
wow,
really hot.
wow,
in there.
it was pretty heavy. You were really, it was the sauna, and you really had to go like come out of there and find a bed of ice to go jump in.
Lisa says we're moving up. I love it.
Well,
yeah,
I'm sure that Linda's still watching. She remembers when Oklahoma went wet. Oh, for goodness sake, yeah.
I remember when we still lived in Oklahoma, so we moved. I did first grade in California, so it was after kindergarten that we left. But I remember one time, Mom wanting to buy a bottle of wine, and we weren't allowed to go in the liquor store, so she parked us outside while she went in and bought a bottle of wine.
Hilarious.
Hey, that's a young memory for me.
It's like sending a kid to the store with 60 cents to buy a pack of cigarettes back in the 80s or something. Yeah, give me a pack
do
of
you remember
Cools.
that? You remember? Oh my gosh, that was funny. And there was nothing wrong with it back then.
Yeah.
You could just leave your kids standing outside the store.
It's just a thing.
I'll be back. No biggie.
Whatever.
Biodegradable plastic film. The geodesic dome nerds have some nice greenhouse designs. Yeah, it's not like it was cheap. I got my money back, but it's not like it was cheap.
Yeah. They offered you either a new dome or your money back.
I was like, no, I want my money back.
It failed.
If this one failed, the next one
will too.
So yeah, no.
It needs better plastic. I think what's wrong is it didn't have good plasticizers, which is a problem with plastics these days. I tell you.
One word.
A traditional greenhouse is made out of glass plates, and it's hard to beat glass for that, but it's not very easy to put it up and take it down. I understand the sun bubble. It was a great concept. I really wish it would work better. We would have it up this year.
I'm trying to think of what thrived in that miserable. It was when I went in there to water. It was horrible. It was like stepping into hell.
The herbs and the tomatoes were pretty happy with it. Like serious heat.
Yeah.
The other thing is that I needed better ventilation. I think it was decent, but it wasn't great.
It had ventilation, but not enough.
Not enough. So you really need a fan at the top of that, just moves it around and get air going.
It really was like stepping into hell.
Right. Look at the thing.
I know.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
Well, I could make bourbon thingy.
Bourbon
thingy too. I can make bourbon thingy.
You could do that. I'll get rid of it. It offends.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not offended. I'm just sad. That's gone. But it's okay because I can make another one.
Oh heck! I've worked a long day. You've worked a much longer day. So here we are to relax a little. A few fun things. Some of these we have found here and there.
The plight of the performer.
Oh, I tell you. Breathe.
Anyway, I'm kidding.
Breathe.
I'm kidding. It's.
Breathe.
I'll take a shaker. Can you grab one?
I can grab a shaker.
I'm trying to think who this would be less awkward for.
Mm-hmm.
I elected you.
Yeah, me.
Thank you. Okay. Oh wait, does this one have?
Yes,
it does have a measure. Okay, awesome. Bourbon thingy.
We give you measure lines.
Bourbon thingy.
Oh, of course. Woo. Mm-hmm.
Silly with vampires. Oh, thank you.
Oh yeah.
I know. We could do a cover for the laptop. Our other laptop does have a colored cover.
It does indeed.
This
Looks
one
great.
does not.
Oh, MacBook sticker. Anybody?
Oh my gosh, that's such a good idea. I love these. I love these ideas that you guys share.
It, please. I don't necessarily think of that. So if you do, ping.
Okay, I'm going to make bourbon thingy.
Let's go with bourbon thingy. Oh, bamboo. That's a fun one.
Oh my gosh, what a good idea. And hello to you, with Kelly holding the apple. Aww, I love it. Okay, so bourbon thingy starts with 2 ounces of bourbon. I am using everyday bourbon from Cooperstown Distillery here in New York. Cooperstown, New York. Which was a really great price. And it calls for... I created this today, but I haven't tried it yet. So, I'm going to use a 1/2 ounce of forbidden fruit liqueur, which used to be a common item. It's not that easy to get now. This one is from Lee Spirits in Colorado Springs. So I would get on, if you're interested, and try to get it from Lee Spirits.
Yep.
They sent us this. I need to disclose that.
This is sponsored, folks.
Yes. So
Oh, fantastic stuff.
I'm going to do a 1/2 ounce of that. And a 1/2 ounce of the lemon juice again, because I really meant for this to be just like the other one with just a couple of substitutions. So
Yeah.
1/2 ounce of fresh lemon juice.
We do that frequently. You make a drink and then you like vary one
Well, it's
item.
fun to do that. Yeah,
It is.
just see like if I change this one thing, can I tell the difference?
Classically, mixologist people would do that. It's if they call something a smash, and then there's bourbon smash, vodka smash, gin
Monster smash.
monster smash. They did the smash. They did the monster
smash. Okay, 5 dashes of ginger bitters.
Ah.
So I did the chocolate before. Now I'm
Big
going to
one.
do the ginger.
Dr. Seuss's bourbon thing. You want a bourbon thing? You do. Ah! Yeah, it was banned at the same time as Kitsch-en the Rye. Kitsch-en the Rye. Get it? Oh, I tell you.
What? Okay,
A
this
Berlin
is
Mule. Oh, what's in that?
sticky.
Anyway,
Mm,
you can do something about that.
That's
Be right back.
sticky.
Do you mind if I do?
I'm gonna grab spray and de-stick myself. I still think we should put a sink behind this bar because nothing like a sink in the living room to raise the value of your house. Not that we're planning to sell anytime soon, but you know what I mean. So I need some ice. My sophisticated ice scoop. My hands. Shake with ice. I'm gonna guess that we don't have any more chilled glasses, do we? Would I be wrong?
You would not. What glass would you like?
This one will do fine.
Yep.
Oh, that's kind of small.
Larger?
Yeah.
We have larger. Let's
There
go
we
larger.
go. There we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Chilled is not critical, but any professional bar frequently has a line of glasses with ice in them just waiting to be emptied.
If there's a chilled glass to be had, I will take it.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Yoink.
I'm going to try it before I express the lemon peel into it because I didn't do that for the other one.
You want to actually taste before dosing.
Oh, that's good too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure I have a preference between Bourbon Thingy and Bourbon Thingy 2.
They're a little different.
They are different.
And it's fun to taste the difference.
Yeah. But you know what? As long as we've tried it.
Give it a whirl.
I'm gonna
You can try it again.
use a fresh lemon peel.
I do.
It smells good. Just doing that little twist of peel on top of your drink makes it smell really
I
good.
frequently talk about special effects drinks. Now, special effects drinks, to me, just have a little
Thank you,
pizzazz.
Cherry.
Sometimes that's like a special effects drink is a tequila sunrise, where you've got you get that layer on the bottom that starts oozing upwards and reminds you of
Oozing upwards.
dawn, layers in the atmosphere. The aviation, which has the same exact effect, with like the blue.
Hi, Rusty.
Yeah, big fun. So in this case, we've got like a drink which it was good, but then you add the peel and you've got that essence coming up. The aromatics. That's fun. It's a lot of fun. I like that.
Lisa's saying that a sink in the living room, it doesn't raise the insurance rate like a pool in your backyard.
True too.
I can only imagine. I want a pool in my backyard.
I would love an in-ground pool. I grew up with such, and I kind of feel like that is my birthright for my entire life. which just means I need to find that wherever I go. We know we have friends who put one in. Like they actually designed it, and they had the concrete poured, and it's amazing. And they have, and it's surrounded with 6-foot tikis that the man carved
himself.
Okay.
And they're good. It's not like
it's really incredible.
They're not crappy tikis. They're actually really amazing tikis.
Really, really incredible. You know?
Yeah, the peel does make a difference, right? It's so good.
It's just that lemon oil, fresh lemon oil, boom, and it's just aromatics on the nose. It's a subtle thing, but it makes a difference in a cocktail. So there we go. Well, I'm out, which means I need to do something. I designed a bunch of things tonight that I could do. I actually found something in a vintage book, and I might not make it because it's a little too much like a cocktail, and I've had a few cocktails already, so I might cover something else that I came up with.
Too much like a cocktail?
I've had a couple. After a while, I start dialing it down, and I wonder.
Oh, you just mean like a mixed drink?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's see what I want to do with this. Okay, yeah, we could do that.
So which one are you doing?
Quick Wicks.
Oh. Or if people still here, he's doing a Quick Wicks drink.
Hello. In fact, I think we're going to change up the glassware. I think I would like to have the chimney glass.
Alright, so what are you calling this one?
Same. No, this is.
No, I know, but.
Same.
I'm working on this one.
No, Quick Wicks. Yeah, same.
He's calling it Quick Wicks South Seas Adventure, since clearly he didn't want to say that.
What? No, I do want to say that. It's not a problem. Absolutely.
I kept saying, what do you want to say? What are you calling it? You're like, same. I'm calling it same.
Same.
I feel like changing the name to same.
Same name I gave it 2 hours ago.
I know.
Oh, jeez.
I wanted you to introduce it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, so here we are. Queequeg, of course, is the nautical fellow from the South Seas in Moby Dick.
What's the difference between a spritz and a twist? Well, a twist, you would literally twist it over the drink. And then a spritz, theoretically, you would have a spritzer. Theoretically.
You would have to spritz with an atomizer.
Hi, Aaron.
Literally, like a perfume atomizer.
Right.
That kind of
like
thing.
yeah. Or
and
they make little drink spritzers.
There are drinks which are called an Aperol Spritz. There's no atomizer. They just say you want to add some bubbles to it. So that's the idea with that.
So you need your recipe back.
All right. I had a little fun here. I was working with the bourbon, and I found a product that we purchased recently when we went up to Lake George and past Albany. There's a great beer distributor up there that has.
Oh my gosh! If you are passing through Albany, and
something like 4,000 beers.
Yeah.
In there, they have various different styles. Oh, it's incredible.
Crazy.
Really, really everything from smoked beer to every IPA you can imagine. So they had some great products, and one of the things they had was Halyard Volcano juice. Now this is a ginger beer shandy from South Burlington, Vermont. Hello, Burlington. And Halyard actually has a fluke on it. I'm talking about a whale, and that really made me think of Moby Dick. So I said, let's make this happen. This would be highly appropriate with a number of brown goods. I'm thinking of Applejack. I'm thinking of brandy. Brandy would be very appropriate when we talk Vermont. However, I'm working with the everyday bourbon. Again.
It's so inexpensive, you can work with it.
You can do it. I'm going with 1 1/4. I haven't had 1 1/4 ounce, so that's why I went with that.
Well, that's handy. Okay.
But I wanted to dial it down slightly. Okay. So, once again, chimney glass, fill with ice, pour in. And I think I would like to put a peel in there. So
Here.
you can add that. Caught it.
You know, it's no joke behind this bar.
It is no
it's
joke.
a little tight.
Express some oil from the peel over.
Did you use up the peels?
Yep.
Good for you. Normally we have a bunch of peels left.
It's good to use them. Volcano juice is a shandy.
I want to just try it by itself, though. Give me some in a little.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I could just drink it from the can, but this makes me think of Laverne and Shirley. This one tastes like the can. It's good. It's. I don't want to say what it smells like. Yeah, it's good. It's good. It tastes good.
But I was like, what? Yeah, it smells not that great.
It smells like cleaning products.
Tastes great. It's awesome. It's a good product. Very happy with
Don't sniff it. That would be my my advice. All right, let's try it.
Quick South Seas adventure. You might think I should have used rum there.
It's a good drink.
But the fact is, back in the day,
it's a good
in
drink.
the 1850s on a whaling ship, you would have taken what you could get.
I'm not sure I would. I'm not sure I would buy that stuff again, but it's a good drink. He's like, I don't care.
Volcano juice. Yep.
Yep. Oh yeah. Well, I would highly recommend picking up anything that looks interesting in your stores because
if you find a good mixer, try it
exactly.
out.
And but I wouldn't spend too much. If it's a lot of money and you're like, wow, I don't know, I would think twice.
The fact is, we actually, you actually bought a bottle of bourbon today.
Astringents. It's a little. I always say about chartreuse that it tastes like I imagine scented toilet paper would taste. That had that a little bit too.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. It wasn't even the flavor. It was the aroma that just made me go like.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
There's a note in there. You go, oh, I don't know. But look, today you picked up Everyday Bourbon, Cooperstown. Yep. Highly reputable product. It's really nice.
It's good.
Good stuff. And I wanted to dial it down. I tried to actually program these things where it's like cocktail, tall drink. I got one of these.
Coosville says, is it punk rock if it doesn't smell like cleaning products? There is that particular smell in punk rock bars, isn't there?
Okay, I've got a funny story for you.
Cleaning products. Okay, but I gotta say, Elizabeth says clean your pipes. Exactly. Oh.
Well, you
guys get it. You guys totally
You got to keep your pipes clean or they won't actually sound properly.
You guys get it. All right,
The simple fact.
He has a story. I'm a listener of Cooperstown. What?
Hello.
What?
That's honestly about an hour and some change from us. Maybe an hour and a half.
Change.
Yeah.
Aaron. Change.
You're closer to Roscoe where they make this product right here. I can't put my hand on it. There we go.
No, Cooperstown.
Yep.
Wasn't that when we went to Omegang?
Yeah. Omegang is very close to Cooperstown. So, great brewery. Really been making fantastic products.
It is
really amazing piece of property.
Beautiful there.
And you just like
about 20 miles
on premises. You have a few beers, fantastically fresh, crazy.
Oh my gosh!
So hello, ultimately close. So this.
Oh, he has a story. Sorry, he's got a story.
Yeah. Now I'm trying to remember what inspired this story though. Was right here.
Punk rock bars and cleaning products.
Okay. This was not a punk rock bar, but back in the day, I used to attend a few shares in Providence, Rhode Island, and there used to be a joint called Lupo's Heartbreak Hotel.
Wait, where's that?
that was Providence, and they were
Okay.
pretty centrally located in a
By the way,
period where
I just
Providence
wanna-
was pretty
I
depressed.
just want to bust in for a second. Sailing with Vampires says, a weird drink is Medicine Man. That's really good. We will have to check that out.
Well, you want to drop it on us? Hello?
All right. As you were. Providence.
Please do.
Lupo's.
Lupo's was the joint where you would actually see either hardcore bands from London or Roomful of Blues, which is a New England tradition. That was an R&B group, like a jump blues band. That was pretty awesome.
That sounds great.
They've been going forever.
I would love that.
You could see those. You could also see local legends like Plan 9. I love Plan 9. Those guys are just fantastic. I
Okay.
thought those guys were just great when I was a teenager. They haven't done, like, it's still the same thing. And that's what they were playing. If any band came through that was like, oh, this is the revived version of the Remains from the 60s, they would play there.
Okay.
Blues bands would play there. R&B bands would play there. Soul bands would play there. All the stuff we hear every Friday on downtown Soulville would play there.
Okay.
Punk bands would play there. New wave bands would play there. Everything would play there. It was great. But the band, like the venue that I really got my teeth on was the Living Room. And
Now, see, I know that one from your story.
yeah. And they were really the place with the hardcore matinees and everything like that, etc. Why am I talking about any of this? Because the joint had a smell. The joint had a smell that was really distinct. It was a very chemically smell. And I remember at one point, the buddy that I used to hang out with there happened to be Tom Five, guitarist who has appeared in a number of bands, had a bottle at his mother's house, and he says, here, give that a smell. I'm like, living room! The cleaning fluid.
What was it?
I have no idea.
We need to figure this out. So if you want to make your house smell like a dive bar.
Like a dive bar. What the hell is the cleaning fluid? It's hilarious. And by the way, I'm not saying drink it. It's toxic. Don't do that.
I don't want my house to smell like a dive bar, but if you do, we need to figure out what this cleaning fluid was.
Aromas are distinct. You will always be able to tell.
Oh,
which one.
good. Love the living room. Okay. All right. I love that you guys all... I grew up in California.
Yeah, here's another
I wasn't
story.
there,
Here's
but-
another story for you. Hardcore matinee circa 1980.
Oh, this is the best story ever. I already know what you're telling.
It is not actually the best story. It's the second best story.
Okay. You got to tell the best story too.
I will. Second best story is...
Oh, Cooksville Co-op says that bathroom was horrid. Cooksville is tuning in on YouTube and Fred's on Facebook. But anyway, I'm trying to circle it around so that everyone's involved. But
Did we say hello to Banana?
hello, Banana.
Hey, Banana.
Banana Booey. Hello. We're just walking down memory lane of Rhode Island rock venues.
RHC, baby.
Rhode Island rock venues.
Oh,
I'm out. I was not involved, but I will listen.
Yeah, but you were listening to, like, Black Flag.
No, I was, but I was in California, so I don't. Yeah.
Sure, but that was the real thing. I saw Black Flag 3 times in Providence. I mean,
No, I know.
They were an awesome power.
I know, but I didn't go to those. I never went to the living room.
No, I know. I understand. I know.
I didn't.
But you watched Valley Girl. You knew about that sort of thing. You know.
Everyone.
It's a
No,
form of cred.
I saw Oingo Boingo a number of times, but
You know
I
that-
was not in New England, is what I'm trying to say.
Boingo were a different force of their own. I mean, they were a big horn
Yes,
band,
yes.
but like they're just like very peculiar.
And I lived in the set
I really
of
like those guys.
Repo Man.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, if you want to talk Repo Man, I know that setting. But
Please.
oh, Sailing with Vampires shared. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, that sounds amazing.
Okay.
I am gonna take a screenshot of this drink.
We'll check that out.
Because he probably will not save this chat. So I'm gonna take a screenshot of the medicine man.
You're talking about the John at Lupo's or Living Room? Just asking. Because I attended both, and Lupo's was in an office building, as I recall, but living room was in an old industrial building. It was like a mill building.
Oh, Space Waster, thank you. That would be my dream job. Space Waster says, you too should make tiki drinks and host B-movies on TV. That would pretty much be my dream job forever. So, yeah, let's make that happen.
I think you just described what I should do for the rest of my life.
Yeah, let's make that happen.
And if I can't figure out how to do that, if somebody else could figure that out, I will entertain you until I am gone.
Yeah. And possibly after.
Because
possibly a little bit after
we
that.
know a few things about these genre pictures.
Ooh.
And we'd love to share.
Hello, Picasso. I was just singing that to Paul when he was painting the front steps. Like, girls color of an avocado when he drive down the street in his Eldorado.
He was only 5'3". Girls could not resist his stare. Subsequently,
I'm going to leave the rest out.
I will let you finish that.
I don't want to go to Facebook jail.
Yeah, seriously.
So, yeah, anyway.
But there we go.
Yeah.
The fact is,
Hello, Who's Duncan? Do you know a good recipe for an old-fashioned? I like an old-fashioned better than he does, so maybe I'll do that next.
We're talking bourbon. An old-fashioned is obvious. Dano and Elaine were drinking them earlier tonight.
Oh, really? I missed that.
Highly reputable.
I was in a class, so I missed the beginning of this broadcast.
The old-fashioned is one of those drinks. Why was it called an old-fashioned? Because at the day, back in the day when people were talking about it, it was probably the 19th century. How old-fashioned could it get? I don't know, about the 1820s.
I like an old-fashioned. I might make one.
End of the day, liquor, some sugar, and some bitters, a little water, you got a drink.
We were just discussing this on...
It's an easy thing.
Oh, wait. Cookstill says, I'm a younger cat, but I still went to shows at the old and new living room. All right. While I work out the old-fashioned, you guys can discuss the living room. You got to tell the story. You got to tell the story for your mom, though.
Oh, yeah. I have two stories to tell you.
He's got a good story.
I got two stories to tell you. Okay, so because you mentioned Neutral Nation, whom I was familiar with, one of my buddies from high school was like a really big fan of the Ramones, and she was into all sorts of local music, and she knew Neutral Nation, and she was a bit of an entrepreneur.
Oh, wait, who's this?
Oh, my buddy Buffy.
Oh, I never met Buffy, but I've heard of Buffy.
Cool cat.
So, Buffy, if you're watching.
So,
okay.
She actually was kind of a wheeler dealer. If she liked a band, she would talk to them and say, hey, would you play this or that? And she was trying to put together shows. Well, she graduated and asked them if they would play her graduation party. So...
You told me this recently.
They did.
All right. I got a few... Okay.
This is circa, I can say so, 1986. And my buddy Tom Five and I had known Buffy for years, so we'd like, hey, we'd like to play that too. So we opened up for Neutral Nation at her graduation party. And this was two guys playing a lot of noise, and I was just banging on a sheet of sheet metal. And I think we cleared the joint. It was pretty amazing. And we were using their sound system. I think the guys from Neutral Nation were like, I don't know what the hell is going on here, but it's okay. And some of the young punk rockers were like, I don't know, you know? It was kind of the intersection of, like, that level of fun punk and, like noise bands like Einstürzende or Throbbing Gristle. You know, we were playing that kind of thing. I can't tell you what it sounded like because I didn't record it, but later that night we played another party and I did record that, so I could tell you what that sounded like. That was kind of fun. So that was unique. And the other story about the living room was the first time I ever went to a hardcore matinee there. That used to be legendary. That was, you know, happening around 1983, 84. And of course, my mother drove us. She was a very practical woman, and she would like take us to such things without being interested to participate because it was a bunch of noise. So my buddy Tom and I go into this joint and like we experienced all these sorts of bands. Somebody recently turned up a poster from the actual gig, and it was all of these names that were prominent in New England at the time. And one of them was, I think Kill Slug was headlining that night. And, you know, we enter this thing, we do this business, there's the big mosh pit, blah, blah, blah. And end of the night, these guys are seriously demented, and they're just playing this, like, crazy kind of stuff. He disappears into the pit. And in the meantime, my mother's trying to get into the joint so she can take us home. And she shows up to the joint, and she asks the guy at the living room, I need to see my son. And he goes, which means $5 to get in. And she understands this and says, I don't want to go in there. I need to get my son. He's like, oh, all right, fine. So my mother just goes into this, this tenderwall of noise.
What are the sugar cubes?
And finds us. Right here.
Oh! Here I am searching.
Sorry.
Kitchen for sugar cubes, and they're right here.
If you'd asked me, we're not talking about the sugar cubes. We're talking about hardcore. So
I'm gonna go grab a glass.
That's a hilarious story. Is that like my mom went up to this guy and like he was like, "Hey, lady, you can't get in there. Do you think I want to get into this bunch of caterwaul? No." I remember the second time we went there, there was a great band from Hartford, and they were playing a lot of political stuff. They were really good. And I remember their quote was like, you know what? Providence is a lot more friendly to us than Hartford. And I've heard that from other sources. So I gotta say,
if you knew his
Fred
mother,
is still watching.
If you had known his mother, you would know how hilarious that story was, because she was just not someone you were going to find at your local hardcore show.
She was not. You wouldn't consider her intimidating until you talked to her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you get out the... Yes, you did.
Of
Okay,
course.
so in old-fashioned, I'm starting with a sugar cube in an old-fashioned glass and soaking it with my bitters.
Excellent idea. Elizabeth is talking a monkey's brunch.
Oh my gosh, that would be fun.
I think that'd be fab.
Yeah. I know, you're supposed to muddle.
Aaron.
Muddle it. Hartford is not friendly to original music. Oh my gosh.
You know the reason for that, Fred? You know the reason for that. You could tell me. Hartford, of course, is the insurance capital of the USA. They don't actually want things that don't go outside those strictures.
The recipe does say to add a little water, so I'm going to do that. Just a splash, and then I'm going to muddle with my muddler.
This is hilarious. Done.
Oh my
Mel
gosh!
Lindemoy's father played the boss of the repo business.
Oh my god! That's
that
hilarious.
guy.
Alright.
Hey kid, that's not cool. But you know something? That's alright. Because you know what? You're okay.
So, I soaked my sugar cube in bitters, added a splash of water.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm going to add ice to my glass and add 1.5 ounces of bourbon. Is that the 1.5 ounce measure over there?
Now it is.
All right.
What is used to cause granular sugar to remain in cube form? Pressure. They press it into cubes. That's about it. Slight amount of moisture will allow it to stick together, and there you go. That's why I actually have a rag over here.
It's just a splash. It didn't spill on the computer.
Oh, a little bit of ethyl alcohol would actually help with a little corrosion on the keys.
You're supposed to garnish it with an orange slice. Oh! And a cherry. You're supposed to garnish with an orange slice and a cherry. I don't have an orange slice, but I do have a cherry.
Smells nice.
Alright. I do have a cherry. do it. Come on, get out of
Got
there.
the cherry.
I only need one of you. All right.
We made these cherries ourselves. You can do it yourself.
Thank
All you need is fresh cherries and some liquor.
So easy.
It's so easy.
It's so easy. So easy. Right. Okay.
Interesting, my mother didn't really resemble Diane Wiest, but there are some similarities.
I can see Diane Wiest playing your mother.
I can kind of see that. Yeah, like she was very skilled. She could.
You don't love an old fashioned, but it's a good one. I'm a fan.
It's a really good drink. End of the day.
I gotta add it for our.
I don't
Patreon
necessarily
patrons.
lean towards that, but a lot of people like an old fashioned.
I like it.
I was at a little gathering with folks from work about probably 2.5 years ago at a really great watering hole in Lower Manhattan, and one of the gals said, "I'd like an old fashioned," and they delivered it to her, and it was with all the fruit that was all muddled up, and she said, "Oh, this is terrible." And I thought, I could make you a good old fashioned
She
that you
didn't
would
like
like.
it?
No, it was not well done.
What did they do?
They put all the fruit in there, muddled it up. You don't need any of that.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no good.
I can see that.
I remember thinking to myself at the time, I can make you a better old fashioned with what they have on hand. And they're just listening to the wrong ingredients. I mean, it's, there are certain things that become standards in bars, and you have to do this, use a lot of sour mix, grab the Coca-Cola from the gun. Maybe you don't need to do that. Sometimes you just need more fresh ingredients. That bit of lemon peel, squeeze over that. That makes a big difference.
All right.
I gotta tell you.
I have added it to the official.
The canon.
Sheet, the official sheet of this evening's drinks.
Who's going to see this tomorrow?
Our Patreon patrons.
Oh, if you are a Patreon patron, you will see everything we made tonight. If you are not, and would like to be a Patreon patron, what do you have to do?
Should I drop the link?
I wish you would.
All right.
It's the only shill I will do this evening.
And now we try not to shill too much.
I'm not going to hammer you with this stuff.
I know.
Look, it helps us to produce the show. If you can do it, I really appreciate it. Several people watching tonight are already doing it. We really appreciate it.
Jeez. Right, hold on. You gotta catch up. You gotta catch up on the comments.
Yeah.
Oh! Fred says old fashioned is usually my go-to unless it's a tiki night. All right.
Hello. Didn't
Ocean
realize.
Mist is as fresh as Rhode Island gets. And, all right, so I think caught up on Facebook, YouTube. Oh. Hi, Mike.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You always manage to clear out the joint.
You're going to play that kind of stuff, people leave.
I love it. No,
It's
I don't
hilarious,
think that's
though.
hilarious.
It's
I do
hilarious.
think it's hilarious. All right.
I remember a gig with my buddy John where we were playing turntables, like 2 turntables per, so 4 turntables.
Oh.
We show up, we set up, knitting, not room.
Not room.
Yeah, knitting factory in New York City. We show up, we set up, the audience is 0. And he says, what should we do? I said, we need to play the gig. It's showtime. So we start playing. After about 10 minutes, people start showing up. That's what you do. So I think
was
that's...
I there? Because I remember one where like there was no one there, and you guys started playing anyway, and people did.
You might have been.
Up. Yeah.
You might have been.
I remember the one where you guys played in the storefront.
Oh, yeah, yeah. That was really cool.
There was one gig
That was
where
on like 42nd Street in New York City.
Yeah, there was one gig.
People were just walking by going, what the hell is these guys?
Where they played, there was a storefront, open window. And
abandoned building.
Yeah,
on
and they just
42nd
played
Street.
in the storefront. It was really funny.
It was a cool gig. they piped the music out of the street. The guys from the parking lot next door, parking garage, were coming by and going like, "What's with these guys?" Pretty hilarious. It was a lot.
What's with these guys?
It was a lot of fun. I really liked those gigs. We played for a week at that joint because I finished work, hopped the subway uptown, and like went to work. That was actually great. I really enjoyed those gigs.
I think the best was one in Greenfield, though.
That was very good.
That was good.
Yeah, it was really good.
People got it there.
Well, the second time they really got it.
Oh. Oh, Lisa, I love that. We don't have cable either, although we do have a bunch of streaming things.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, we cut our cable.
The
too.
actual cable TV
but
is gone.
thank you. That makes me happy.
Our cable company is still providing our internet, so we haven't really cut a cable as much as we do not have a cable package. And that is a defining issue right there.
Cable package.
I don't need a cable
sounds
package.
like cable package sounds like the millstone or something.
It is a
That
millstone.
you wear around your neck.
It's a 90s concept, and we're like well past that by now. Seriously. You have so many ways you can get content. This is one of them. We're happy to provide that to you.
I remember reading a book about. Oh, do you have any tunes from your old bands?
Talk to me offline,
He does.
and we can go from there.
I remember him playing. So we were sitting out in our tiki room one day, and he's playing something. I was like, "Is this you?"
Ever since I had a tape deck, which was very early, I wanted to tape everything, and I have not. But I have taped a lot of things, and I've never thrown anything away. So I have a few things I could play for you.
Sherry doesn't have it either.
Ah, yep.
I know.
Cable
Right?
Schmable.
Exactly.
Yeah. You're right about the Schmable. Who needs this?
I like to work the free months, though.
Yeah.
If you can get like a free month of something, get it.
Make it
You can
happen.
just give yourself an alarm to cancel it right before it's going to charge your card. You see a lot of things that way.
Make it happen. You can work these things.
I'm a bad example.
Particularly if you've been with them for a month and then you want, I want to get rid of this.
I did this
might
yesterday.
offer you
I did this yesterday,
a
okay?
little something.
I'm a terrible person.
You're not that terrible.
No,
You're not terrible at all.
I
Just
came to terms with my terrible personhood, so I don't mind sharing this with you.
Mhm.
I got a free month of Paramount Plus. You know, the first month's free. And then I went to cancel it. I gave myself an alarm and I said, okay, I'm going to cancel it the 29th day. And I went to cancel it and they were like, we hate goodbyes. Would you like another month for free? And I'm like, sure. So, yeah. You can work it.
Yeah, I don't mind.
They don't want to lose you.
They would like your business. Because there's a lot of competition and all of these venues know it. So,
I'm a
if you're
terrible
thinking, I don't know, maybe I don't want to get rid of that, think very carefully.
Oh, yeah. No, just work it.
Think very carefully about what they could do for you.
Well, I remember when we got rid of our dish. We had a satellite dish for a while.
Yeah.
And we
It was
finally...
good.
It was good until it wasn't good. And then we finally got rid of it. And they were kind of like, what can we do to retain you as a customer?
Make the service good?
Yeah. Well, no, it
That was the problem right
they were
there.
getting rid of all the shows we like to watch. And we're
Yeah.
like, I don't know, make these shows stay. And they said, well, we can't do that.
Can't do
so,
that?
yeah.
I'm sorry.
But they really, really, really want to retain you as a customer. So
They all do. They really like to do it.
Yeah.
Some of them really do make an effort. You know, if they do, think about it.
it's like Paramount Plus.
Yep. And if they don't, bear that in mind.
Yeah, now just...
Bye. That's a killer. What else do we have to make here? If I can make anything.
That's up to you. You started before I did, so...
Yeah. When I specifically found something in a bar guide.
Did you make that one?
I did not. I don't know if I should.
Yes, yeah.
I don't know if I should.
Yeah, I'm not feeling that one.
It's okay.
Not feeling
It's
that
okay.
one.
Maybe next time. You never know.
You can always just have a beer if you want to hang out, or you could just.
Oh, it's back here.
I don't want you to make drinks that you don't want to make.
I still have some of the volcano juice, which we can make happen.
All right, well let's get rid of that drink off the sheet. Look at that. Deleted. Bye. Bye. Julianne. Oh, Julianne says make the service good. You'd think the businesses would have learned that by now. You would think, right?
What can I say? What do people want? Good service. It is so easy.
Mara says, I cannot say
that.
I've ever had cable. I've only bought one TV in my life and gave that away. Oh, I love that. I come from a TV family.
Yeah.
Yeah, so no, we don't do that. But, oh, Elizabeth, I get it. Elizabeth says, trying to cut the cable cord, but hubby loves his TCM host commentary. That was the only painful thing to me about getting rid of cable was TCM.
Seriously.
I seriously love TCM, so I get it.
And Turner is really linked with cable companies, so it's very hard to separate them.
Yeah, I do get that.
Mm-hmm.
TCM was like, I would just put that on at random times, and I saw so many movies that way. So I do get that. And I loved, I mean, he died, but I loved Robert Osborne.
Yeah.
I love Ben Mankiewicz. You know, like I was into it. So yeah. What'd you make?
Well, I had the
Volcano juice.
Volcano juice, and I added some lemon juice, and I added some Peychaud's bitters.
All right, well that sounds good.
Yep.
I'm gonna add that.
Simple and
I'm gonna add it
reasonable.
to our list.
Yep.
How are you feeling?
How about what?
Life.
Well, life is good.
Glad to hear it. Putting this down. Volcano juice. Our patrons will get this tomorrow.
Yep.
Lemon juice.
But half ounce.
Okay.
Yep.
Peychaud's bitters.
2 dashes.
Okay, got that. Ah,
Yeah.
I can't type.
Nope. I know. Got it.
Oh. I love the I love the discussion here. I've never been able to get it streaming, actually. There's Warner Brothers has a streaming classic movies app, which we tried once, but this was like 5 years ago. We tried it once and it would not work for us at all.
No.
But I'm ready to try it again, actually.
I'd give it a whirl.
Yeah, yeah.
If things have improved since then, of course.
Oh, Lisa says, I'm so freaked out by dropping my cable. Oh, I know. And hi, Lisa. Yeah, no, I know. It's no joke, but
If you have specific things you like and they're not available elsewhere, you are very reluctant to go anywhere else off the grid.
I get it. Yeah, I wish you could get TCM streaming, but Turner was kind of synonymous with cable, so you've got the T Turner and the C cable. So yeah, it's still not there yet, but
you got to break past that sort of thing. It can be really difficult. If you want a specific thing, it's going to be really, really hard. But that's only what's happening at current, and I think that's going to turn around.
Turner cable movies, but the Warner's one, like, we got to get on that again. I feel like they must have fixed it since we tried, and I was just like, it was ridiculous. It wouldn't work, and anyway, whatever. It didn't work, but we got to try it.
Got to try things.
That was a long time ago. How long has it been since we cut the cable? Like, probably 5 years now.
An actual cable package? Easily 5 to 7 years.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
I know. Crazy.
So, well.
Is it time?
It's about that
time.
time.
Has the time fully come?
We are about at 11, so.
Oh my
gosh. A couple hours. Long day for you, that's for sure.
I know, but I loved it. I loved every minute of it.
Well, folks, I started solo. I'm so glad you could join me just riffing.
Thank you for joining him. Next Thursday, I might be a little earlier. I don't know. My class starts earlier next Thursday, so I'm hoping I'll be a little earlier. But in August, we'll go back to Wednesday, and I'll be here.
Wednesday at 8 o'clock.
For what it's worth.
As at our normal time. Things have to change from time to time. I'm glad you could actually switch your schedules and be with us a little later.
Thank you, guys. People are thanking us. I'm like, thank you. Thank you for joining us.
If you were not here, we'd be talking to a wall.
Exactly.
So I got to thank you for tuning in. We try to keep it entertaining.
Exactly.
We try to keep it moving. If I talk a lot when I'm solo, I just want to have no dead air.
Exactly.
And I want to talk about these things in a relevant fashion. And like, what are we talking about? This is an old-fashioned cocktail. Well, that's a pretty simple thing. But if you go to a lot of bars, it's prepared very poorly. We'd like that to be better. That's what we do. This night has been about bourbon. We've had an excellent bourbon the whole night. Everyday bourbon from Cooperstown Distillery. Really good stuff.
Cooperstown, New York. If you can get it, it seems to be a really great
If you're local, check it out. If you're not, it's probably hard to get. Check out your local distillery. Great stuff's happening currently with micro distilleries across the United States. It's fantastic. Oh, that's good for us.
And I want to do a Fernwood brunch. We gotta put a date on the calendar for a Fernwood brunch.
We will find that. We've done some fantastic live dates on these things. I really, really enjoyed those dates.
I have a date in mind.
I think the cartoon one might have been our best one ever, and cartoons and breakfast cereal. Oh man!
I have a date in mind.
Warms the heart.
I'm thinking August 22nd. Is that the Sunday?
That's about right.
If that works for you, let us know. You can find a lot of Fernwood on YouTube, so that would be hilarious to you. So anyway, all right, we got to wrap this up. But thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. And we will be back next Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern. Hopefully I'll be here. I don't know. I'm trying to get educated.
If you're not here at the outset, I will hold down the fort because people will
Lisa,
withstand.
Thank you. No, I know. We got to get to the Poconos.
I know. It's not that far.
It is really not that far for us. So
but definitely.
We got to do that. So good night, and we will work on. I seriously go to YouTube and search on Fernwood. But in the meantime,
as always,
next Thursday at 9, and Glendora will be here on Monday. In the meantime, we will
see